Hey, good afternoon, LifePro Asset Management Advisors. Thank you for joining us today for this month's Advisor Mastermind series. I'm David Julian. I'm the Director of Operations here. We're going to have me. I'm just going to do a brief introduction to Robert Rayburn, who, of course, you all know. And we're going to be talking a lot about our close partnership that we've had recently with Simplicity Wealth. So he's going to show you a lot of the tools and resources that they have here in a minute. The only reminder that I wanted to give is in the next couple of days, and something to be cognizant of throughout the rest of the year, is just any year-end deadlines that both Schwab might have and that we might have to process anything that may need to be processed by the end of the year. So be on a lookout for an email coming in the next few days. Schwab itself is still coming up with those days when they can take last requests at the beginning of the years for different items, but we'll send out those emails and definitely work with your account management team on all those items and get those started now. Start thinking about RMDs. Work with us so that we can get those completed for you so that it's a smooth end of the year for you. With that, that's the only reminder I had. And let's hear what Robert Rayburn is going to show us today.
Thanks, Dave. And thanks to all the advisors that are joining on the call today. Certainly glad that you guys could attend the advisor mastermind series here this month. Certainly September was kind of a crazy month. We started off pretty bad, but then really rallied into the back end of the month here. And we've seen some similar strength, although a little bit more volatility here in the first couple weeks of October. But overall, things are looking pretty good, especially with the employment report that came in last week. I think we're really seeing those recession risks being taken down. But that's not why we're here today. Why we're here today is really on practice management. And Dave touched on the first point, which was obviously all the year-end stuff that we have to consider as advisors. One other thing that I wanted to remind everyone of is that we certainly have approximately 3 months left until the end of the year. So one area that clients often forget as well is contributions into their IRAs, 401ks, etc., especially the IRA portion of it, which is what we manage, what you guys manage out there. And just making sure that clients are aware there is that deadline at the end of the year to get that tax deduction in. The second thing is if your clients happen to miss from previous years, there's always, for those older clients, the catch-up provisions. So just be aware of it. If you guys need any information on how we can help, obviously let us know and we can coordinate everything for you. But let's go ahead, get started. So 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, right, Dave? August of 2022, LifePro decided to enter into a strategic partnership with Simplicity Holdings. And that involves Simplicity acquiring LifePro. Now, over the ensuing 2 years to the date that we got to this point, what we've really been doing we've been working very closely with Simplicity behind the scenes and really figuring out all the tools, concepts, teams, people, everything that Simplicity brings to bear as one of the largest distributors of financial products on the planet. What are a lot of the advantages that they're going to bring to LifePro, our advisors and their clients? And what are some of the things maybe that we don't necessarily place a high priority on, right? And we've been working with them across the life insurance and annuity space, as well as the wealth space. And for a lot of advisors that have been with us for many years know that we went through this period of hyper growth where we expanded as a company, where we expanded as a business, and we had a little bit of growing pains, right? Where myself, Dave, others on the team were really stretched 1,000 ways through Sunday. And we were facing many of the similar challenges that the advisor out there, faces on the field, which is how do I scale after absorbing such high periods of growth in terms of number of households that came on board, et cetera. And that's where Simplicity comes in. They're over the next couple of years and beyond, what they're going to bring to our organization, to our advisors, to their clients is just an absolutely top-notch set of tools, solutions, concepts, people, which I think is the most important thing, that are really going to help us and our advisors take their practice to the next level. So the focus this week is just going to be providing a very, very high level introduction as to what some of that integration may look like over the next 12 to 24 months. But most importantly, is to emphasize the fact that nothing in terms of how you do business needs to change, right? And really what we want to do is use this as an opportunity to review some of the objectives for your business, how we can help get you there, what's been working, what's not been working, and then sort of take it forward from there and choosing the right tools. So that's what we're going to go through today. As you guys know, if you have any questions, please enter it in the chat box there, and we'll do our best to answer those questions as they come in. So we talked a little bit about this, but for the first 2 years, it was really about discovering what within Simplicity we could leverage most effectively to help advisors. And then, of course, de-emphasizing those tools that may not be as pressing, right? And really creating a better overall experience for our advisors, because we know there were spots, right? And there are spots as a smaller organization that we were not able to be as effective in servicing advisors as we would be with more financial resources, and more people and more technology. And that's a big thing that's going to be one of the areas that advisors are really going to be able to notice a difference in. So the agenda today is what's happening and how will it help advisors? Number two, what will change for you? And then lastly, the timelines and next steps, if any, that need to be taken by our advisor force. So we talked about that integration, that acquisition that took place. A few things I want to really mention here is that this is all about expanding the capabilities of the platform and providing more solutions to advisors and their clients. It's going to be the exact same platform. I want to throw that out there right away. Exact same platform. One of the things that really attracted us to Simplicity was the fact that they use Orion, right, as their back office. We use Orion as the back office. So really it's going to help us control costs on the back end, but then also tap into an incredible team of programmers that Simplicity has on staff. I mean, Dave right now does 1,000 jobs, 1,000 ways through Sunday. Dave is going to be able to tap into a whole bunch of top-notch programmers to help really advance those goals, the interface of what the client portal looks like, the advisor portal looks like. I think everyone is going to be able to see those noticeable changes. That's one change you will see, is that interface, the ease at which you can navigate both the client and advisor portal is going to improve quite dramatically. We talked about more concepts, right? So one thing that we never had was what's called direct indexing. We'll get into that a little bit, but the ability to look at the Russell 2000 or the S&P 500 and say, hey, I want to index, but maybe I want an ESG overlay on that. Or, hey, I don't want to have oil and gas in my portfolio, or there's certain names I don't want. We can create those custom indexes. And just quite frankly, better reporting as we take a more holistic approach. Now, I know that one thing that advisors really loved about LifePro Asset Management was that integration with LifePro and that ability to not just market investments, but annuities and life insurance. Let me assure you that is going to continue, but we're going to accelerate it, right? So Simplicity, is most may know or may not know, is they are one of the largest life insurance and annuity distributors in the country. So the very DNA of Simplicity is they wanted to build something different, a lot like what we wanted to build, which is when you're talking the financial plans, when you're talking those annual reviews, is that we want to be that one-stop shop for advisors and clients. Overall, what's your return? How are those annuities doing? How is that cash value life insurance policy performing? How are your investments performing based on risk factors, right? So all of those things are going to be available in one easy to access portal. So again, it's under this idea of one Simplicity, and something that we're really, really excited about. We've completely bought into that. I would also like to mention that, and we'll go into this, but the people that you've been used to working with, whether that's myself, Dave, your FSR, which is now referred to as an ADC, everyone is going to stay consistent, right? And so we're just going to be able to tap into more resources at lower prices. So you may ask, what will change, right? Certainly something's going to change. And the best way that I can explain it is really at the end of the day, nothing has to change if you don't want it to, right? So what your clients are being charged, what you're being charged, everything can stay the same. But I think what's most likely going to happen is advisors are going to start to be introduced during one-on-one sessions to what that Simplicity Wealth platform looks like, what it has to offer, the teams that you can work with, the sales coaches that are going to be made available to you. And some of you, if not all of you, may say, well, you know what? I do want to actually take advantage of this concept, or I want to take advantage of the coaching, or I would like to redo my website, or I got some compliance questions that perhaps require the resources of a compliance team as opposed to one person. That's really where we'll come into, right? That's where you'll see some of the changes, is to say, well, if we want to go from point A to point B and you want to access some of these tools, then we got to start thinking about things a little bit differently, right? So it's really going to be based on your shortfalls, right? It's not to say your shortfalls, our shortfalls, and saying, okay, like, where's your practice been in the last few years? Has it grown? Has it stagnated? Has it gone the other way? And what are the reasons for causing that, right? Now, in some cases, for example, like we had our growth strategy, which has been a hindrance for some advisors, right? So we want to make sure, how are we addressing that? For the strategies that have done well, making sure that those things continue unabated, right? Such as the income strategy. And then third-party strategies. Are there strategies out there that can complement what you've been doing with your existing clients and can help bring in new business? So all those things are great conversations that we're looking forward to having. And then, of course, everything can change if you're looking to sort of fully take advantage of that Simplicity platform. I suspect number 3 is a longer term picture, but here's the thing: you're the pilot of your own business. We've always said that from the day that we've had introductory conversations with each and every one of our advisors. You are the pilot of your business, right? You decide how fast you want to go, where you want to land it, and where your destination ultimately is. So real quick about the Simplicity Wealth platform, a little bit about the people. Already alluded to this. The same LifePro asset management team, right? For better or worse, you're still dealing with me, right? In addition to that, your highly valued case managers, all of that is going to stay the same as well. Your ADC, FSR, exactly the same. So nothing is going to change on that front. What you will notice is that you'll have more people that you have access to, right? That full service Simplicity team, right? Whether it is the leadership team based out of Minneapolis and New Jersey, whether it is the trading team out of Minneapolis. Their trading team is going to be working together with our trading team. Why? Because now we have all time zones that come into effect, right? So we have a trading team, we have trading services, the East Coast, Minneapolis, and the Central Time. And then now Simplicity San Diego is going to be the hub for Simplicity West and everything that we do in the West Coast. So we're really excited about that. It's a huge opportunity, not just for our staff here, but it's an incredible opportunity for advisors that work closely with us. And then I want to bring, of course, the technology stack. So the technology stack, no changes, right? Again, so one of the things that really attracted us to Simplicity was they use Orion, we use Orion, and they doubled down on Orion by investing and hiring a full software engineering team that is based out of, Dave, I believe it's Minneapolis and New Jersey, but I think it's mostly Minneapolis. So again, really impressed so far with everything they're doing. They've already helped us with a lot of stuff on the back end here. And so the key here wasn't change. but the key here was continuity. And I think that we have achieved that. But again, everything comes down to the execution as well. As it relates to those advisors that are using Redtail for their CRM platform, that will not go away. That will not change. So again, it's all about continuity as it relates to your practice. And then where you might see one small change or some bigger changes, but in a positive way, are the investment solutions. Whether we're talking LifePro Asset Management, Charles Schwab, that stuff's going to stay the same, right? So all the strategies that you're used to at LifePro Asset Management, being able to custody your assets at Charles Schwab, that is not going to change, right? What is a really exciting addition to this integration is the availability of Fidelity. Fidelity has been that one thing that we've been missing for so many years. It's one of those tools and platforms that if we had had it, it would have made our lives easier, but most importantly, it would have made the lives of our advisors easier and the lives of their clients. The ability for you to go out there and find a prospect, convert that prospect to a client, and bring that business over to your management is hard enough. The worst thing that can happen then is to be able to go to a client and say, well, guess what? Now we got to open accounts and transfer accounts. So the more custodies that we, or the more custodians that we have that are available to us, the easier it is for you to close that business. For those clients to sign a simple limited power of attorney form to bring that business onto your management across all these different large platforms, that in itself is worth its weight in gold, in my opinion. Thirdly, the Simplicity third-party platform. So we're going to talk a little bit about how that platform looks like, what's involved, what's proprietary about it. But that's essentially a curated list of third-party money managers that are reviewed by an investment committee every single quarter. That involves mutual funds, ETF groups, SMAs, the whole gamut. We even have the buffer ETF products, which I don't know, we don't have a lot of advisors that are focused on it, but I think it's an exciting new opportunity. Essentially works a little bit like an annuity, but essentially you allow a little bit of downside with higher caps on those investment products. So that'll be an exciting new concept that we can bring to the advisor's overall toolkit. There is one thing that we're going to be de-emphasizing and eventually moving away from, which is AssetMark. Why is that? Well, AssetMark is a third-party TAMP, right? Third-party asset management provider, turnkey asset management provider. Simplicity has its own TAMP. So over time, if you do have AssetMark business, we will be reaching out to you. That is the only what I would call negative change over the next 2 years. Not negative because it's negative, but negative because we might be taking something away that advisors currently have access to. So we'll have those conversations to see how that impact, what that impact is, what it looks like, the timelines around it, everything else. Rest assured, though, that the underlying products underneath that really should not be impacted to much of a varying degree. In terms of the services here, I just wanted to put a list of services. We're going to go through it in more depth on our one-on-one calls. But in terms of asset management, again, the direct indexing, ESG investing, tax loss harvesting, tax optimization, all the third-party curated list of asset management providers, all of these things are going to be opened up to our advisors, regardless of the direction that you decide to take your practice on day one in January. So want to make sure you're aware of that. Marketing. One of the reasons advisors love to work with LifePro is the incredible job our marketing team does, whether it relates to workshops, the Facebook marketing, the follow-up, all those types of things. That's not going to change. What will change, again, more tools at your disposal, right? So website development and management, that's based out of our Phoenix office. that is going to be opened up. Social media content and automation. Again, just an added tool and benefit to the Facebook marketing that Ali and her team do. So again, I think that's going to be very relevant. The weekly market commentary. Now, Simplicity has it more in what we call a written format, obviously, or in what we call the advisor roundtable. That'll be in addition to those weekly market video updates that we send out as well. And then portfolio fact sheets for all those third-party money managers that you have access to. And then, of course, case design, full automation in terms of financial plans. We integrate the annuities a little bit more closely than we had been doing at LifePro. So I think you're going to like that change. And then, of course, we talked about the technology and the support behind that as it relates to compliance, back office case management. All that stuff is not going to change. You're just going to see more depth and more continuity as teams are spread across multiple time zones. So what are some of the proprietary solutions right off the bat that we're going to be bringing to the table? First, we talked a little bit about the Simplicity direct indexing strategies. So again, maybe you're an index investor, but you don't necessarily like the idea of investing in certain areas of the market, or maybe you want to avoid some of the higher volatility components within the S&P 500, within the Russell 1000, Russell 2000. Well, guess what? You can do what's called that it's a custom indexing strategy that allows us to take out certain names or sectors, de-emphasize certain areas so that we can more personally or custom-wise, we can build an index based on the S&P 500 or Russell 1000 or whatever that index is that meet your needs and values as a client, and of course, as for the advisor as well. Comprehensive marketing and sales solutions, right? At the end of the day, Simplicity was founded as an IMO, right? So all of that support that you're used to at LifePro, we have that as well. For qualifying advisors over $10 million, there is going to be, now Dave, remind me, was it 3 or 4 free mailer campaigns for advisors over 10 million?
I believe it's 4.
4, right. So 4 free mailer campaigns. Again, that is in complement to everything you're doing at LifePro on the digital marketing side. The proprietary VAR risk questionnaire and scoring system, that is the first of 2 components to the risk management platform that Simplicity brings. Really excited about this. It's a emotionless way to really identify where a client should be, not just goal-wise, but emotionally, right? So we're trying to reduce that behavioral risk that a client brings to the table when they invest in the market. What we're really trying to do, this is a big lesson. 2022 was a huge lesson for us. And one of those lessons was we don't want to be a source of drama for our advisors. And one of the other reasons we partnered with Simplicity was this VAR risk management system that they developed. It's proprietary to Simplicity. It's based on not just how much can an account go down, but how fast can it go down as well. Those 2 factors are combined to come up with what's called a value at risk score. That value at risk score combined with the goals and timelines of the plan direct the money into different investment strategies to make sure that that client's volatility is manageable, both from a psychological perspective, but also for the advisor as well. Asset lock is the second part to that risk management system. Now, the Dallas event that we're hosting at the end of the month is going to really introduce asset lock, go through the details of it. But real quick, I like to look at asset lock as a risk management platform. What it does is that it will allow advisors to communicate seamlessly with their existing clients in terms of what did their account do over the last week? How many dividends or coupon payments did they earn over the last week? Did their account hit a new high? Sending a congratulations on that. Or, and this is the most important piece in my opinion, when markets are bad, giving a storm update, right? Saying, hey, based on your VAR score, you indicated that if your account went down 10%, you would start to notice it. But if it went down 20%, that you would become panicked. and we've hit that level, let's schedule a conversation and go over our options, right? So in a sense, as the account grows, that 20% downside limit moves up with it, and it's a trigger for conversations. The number one way that we have won business over the last 7 years has been to ask the client the simple question, have you heard from your advisor over the last 12 months? And 80% of the time, that answer is no. And almost every single time, once that answer is no, we win the business, right? So we're in a communications business. We want to make sure we're out in front of clients. We want to make sure we're speaking with them. And an asset lock is going to become an incredible technology tool for advisors to lean on and automate those communications so that, guess what? If you go from 100 clients to 500 clients to 2,000 clients, you're not going to have to pick up the phone 2,000 times and be able to provide basic communications. So this is something we're really excited about. That trip in Dallas, if anyone is interested that hasn't already signed up, please email me. If you have over $3 million in billable AUM, we will pay for you to come there. So please give me a call if you're interested in that. We're going to go through all of this in more detail. You're going to be able to meet the senior management team. Obviously, I will be there as part of that team. And then we will you'll be able to get a sense of not just what Simplicity provides, but also the culture. And I think the people that you'll be working with. And really at the end of the day, I know this sounds hokey, but I really do love the people that compose the Simplicity Wealth team. I think it's an incredible team. I know that Dave and Scott and Eden and Nav and Parker and everyone else that's on our team has really integrated seamlessly with them, and it's for a reason. They're just really, really good people. So I think you guys and gals out there will really enjoy meeting the team. Other things, the LPAM Tactical Risk-Based Sleeves, that will not change. That will move over and integrate with the broader trading platform. And then what we call the Simplicity Wealth Manager Roundtable. Every so often, I believe it's monthly, Simplicity does publish what we call a roundtable where we go through the different endorsed different endorsed asset management strategies that are on the curated platform and developments in the strategy, what's been impacting the strategy, all those types of things. Whether we've taken a strategy out and added a new one in, all of those things will be on that report. Again, additive to what we already provide on a weekly basis with those video updates. So what does all of this mean, right? A lot has been said during this update, but what does it all mean? Bottom line, in my opinion, based on advisors that I've already worked with through Simplicity Wealth, my own interactions as an advisor on Simplicity Wealth, is that your life as an advisor is about to become a lot easier. And I really sincerely mean that. It's about to become a lot easier. I can say that because I put myself through the ringer first on this. Number two, new concepts and platforms are going to be made available. They will not be forced on you. They will be made available. If it makes sense for your practice, utilize it. I recommend it. But if it doesn't, then don't. Lastly, advisors can adopt and defer adoption of new tools, right? They're there for your use. If you want to use them, great. If you don't have to, right? And I think that's something I really want to emphasize. In terms of timelines, really over the next month, October, November as well, it's about introduction. It's about me getting on the phone with you, introducing you to the broader Simplicity Wealth team, everyone getting to know each other, what's been working, what hasn't been working. Number two, a practice analysis, right? Really saying, again, not to repeat myself, but in terms of those things that are working or not working, can we best leverage the tools both at LifePro and Simplicity, now One Simplicity, to really help you get to your goals faster or reverse some of those weak spots that you've been experiencing. And then lastly, optimization, right? So we think of implementing some of those best practices. It's not going to happen in 1 month or 3 months or 4 months. it's a longer term journey, but we want to make sure that over time we're implementing those best practices as identified by you and ourselves as well. So bottom line is, we are incredibly excited to really open up the incredible concepts, the people, which I got to emphasize the people, the technology that will be made available at Simplicity. Change will happen as fast or as slow as you want, right? We're here to just make sure that you're aware of what's available to you. Number two, please, and I really mean this, please keep what you like, change what you don't. And lastly, your client fees will not increase, right? So these are the big things that I really wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of. Over the next couple of months, we're going to be doing a lot of these introductory calls. I just wanted to proactively get in front of this, and I wanted you guys to hear it from me first in terms of, okay, this integration effort is going to begin. It's going to be incredibly beneficial for advisors. It's going to be incredibly beneficial for clients. And it's just a matter of how you guys want to plug and play into the platform, right? So it's just about providing more concepts, more tools, more solutions, but at the same time, not overwhelming advisors, right? Our goal is not to become another LPL. That's certainly not the case. Our goal is, again, we want to build a basket of very, very close partners with the advisor relationships that we have, and build those over time. We're not looking for volume, we're looking for quality. And that's why you guys are on the call today. That's why you're affiliated with LifePro, because you guys are partners. We look forward to continue that partnership in an expanded fashion. So I could not be more excited about where this is going. It's certainly, I've felt more energized than I've felt in many years. And without further ado, Dave, do we have any questions from the queue?
No, I think we're good for right now.
Excellent. So I know that some people are shy about asking questions online, but if you have any questions, a better way sometimes is just to email me directly, pick up the phone, give me a call. Doesn't have to be me. You can call Dave, Scott, your ADC, anyone. And feel free to ask those questions. They're going to be important over the next few months because we want to make sure that we're optimizing this for your business. So that's all I got. Everyone have a fantastic month. I'm sure we'll speak throughout the month of October, but I'm really looking forward to what's next, and have a great October.